Coming up on News 2, Governor Mapp's administration is cracking down on crime. The chief executive said during a press conference Monday that those initiatives will begin with the airports. Plus, our Carnival Corner, info you need to know and info you'll appreciate. Many of us are looking forward to the fabulous fireworks display. Learn more about those responsible for the behind-the-scenes prep. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, Governor Mapp's administration is cracking down on crime. As we reported, the chief executive said during a press conference on Monday that those initiatives will begin with the airports. In fact, they've already started for St. Thomas's Carnival. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
The territory's ports are a big focus for the Mapp administration's crime initiatives. On Monday, Governor Kenneth Mapp and law enforcement leaders outlined their plans for fighting illegal gun trafficking.
Some folks who have been coming into the islands, not only to visit, but coming back home, have seen stepped-up security issues taking place at our airports. You're going to see more of these activities in inter-island travel.
Officials plan to tackle the gun problem right at the airport. The VIPD will have an area set up for people who buy firearms on the mainland and transport them through their luggage.
The reality is whether they do what Virgin Islands law requires in terms of notifying the police department immediately, turning that firearm over, or establishing that they have a permit to possess the firearm.
They've already set up a firearms area at the St. Thomas Airport for Carnival. The governor said he's been working with senators to address any loopholes in the law.
For part of our operations to work, we are making available at the airport through signage and establishing a location where folks who are bringing firearms into the territory will know that at that airport they need to notify the police department that they're going to be there for that notification. And if the person has not yet obtained a firearms license or authority to possess the firearm, the police department will take possession of that firearm until they do what they ought to do.
There will be consequences for those who don't adhere to the law.
If folks bring a firearm into the territory and fail to notify the police department, we will deal with that. And I don't want to get into the specifics of how we will know that.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
Now, officials say these crime initiatives will extend beyond the airports. Well, in other news, the second phase of the project to rehab St. Croix's Airport apron began on Tuesday. Port Authority's Carlton Dow, executive director, executed a notice to proceed with the project's contractor, Better Roads Asphalt Corporation. The company will continue the work at Henry Rolson Airport. That includes getting rid of cracks and trip hazards on the commuter and jet parking apron. They will also be stabilizing the concrete pavement. Phase 2 is 90% funded by a grant. The first phase of the project was completed in December and cost about $4.2 million. This phase is expected to be finished by September. Well, the Terminix manager responsible is an update here for the fumigating a St. John Villa unit that sickened a Delaware family has had his license suspended. The Department of Planning and Natural Resources issued a notice last week suspending Jose Rivera's license. Rivera said he fumigated a lower unit at Saranusa condominiums. That pesticide contained methyl bromide, which is banned in the U.S. except for use in agriculture. The Delaware family ended up in critical condition in mainland hospitals. DPNR issued stop-use orders to Terminix and several other local exterminating companies found to be using methyl bromide. 3 of Governor Kenneth Mapp's nominees are moving forward in the confirmation process after being approved by the Senate Rules and Judiciary Committee on Monday. Vivian Ebbison Flood, tapped to lead the Department of Human Services, was approved. Labor Commissioner designee Catherine Hendry, who was nominated back in February, was also approved by the committee. Finally, Mona Barnes, former gubernatorial candidate who was tapped by Governor Mapp in March to lead as the director of the Virgin Islands Territorial Emergency Management Agency. She was also approved by the Rules Committee. The community is encouraged to wear jeans on Wednesday, not just a fashion statement, but to support victims of rape. Wednesday is Denim Day, and it's national movement to raise awareness about sexual assaults after an Italian Supreme Court overturned a rape conviction more than 20 years ago.
There was actually a case, a major case that happened where the court, it was an Italian Supreme Court, decided that, you know, they're going to overturn a case because the victim was wearing tight jeans and probably deserved to be sexually assaulted. We want to get rid of those kinds of perceptions because it's not okay to rape or sexually assault anyone regardless of what they're wearing. And so we want people to wear denim, and that'll be a way to kind of show support again for victims and survivors, but also to start ridding some of those negative perceptions that we have about why people are raped, because there is no reason why anyone should ever be raped.
Most people are familiar with rape and don't understand that there are other ways that persons can be sexually violated. For us, we see women who are sexually assaulted and raped, we see children, and we also see men. So we're encouraging you as an individual or as an agency, an organization, to allow your employees to wear denim on that day. It is also being served as a fundraiser for Family Resource Center. So I think it's about $10 or $5 to, to pay to wear jeans, and also that helps our rape victim programs at Family Resource Center.
Now, it's Sexual Assault Awareness Month as well as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Now, members of Kidscope are also using the month to share some tips, especially during carnival events, a time they say they see a rise in reports.
Be careful even with your adolescent children. Okay, they're going to the village, give them a time to meet you in the village, a time that they have to be at home. And with the adolescents and high school students, we talk about stay with a group, don't go off any place by yourself, don't drink a drink somebody has handed to you or given to you, because we've had cases like that in the past that have happened on the island. If you're taking your young children to the village, police officers work extra hard during that time. There are a lot of lost children. Take a little card or identification, put it in your child's pocket, have your name, your home number, your cell numbers, to make it easier if something happens.
We'll turn our attention overseas. The National Guard is keeping a watchful eye over the streets of Baltimore following a night of violence and looting. The violence began after the funeral of Freddie Gray, who died from an unexplained spinal injury in police custody. Rioters torched cars, buildings, and some looted stores at a mall. President Obama says anyone who steals or commits arson is a criminal. But he also says there are challenges and problems when it comes to how laws are applied in certain communities, and that attention must be drawn to this issue. It's the first time National Guard was called into Baltimore since 1968 after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. Keeping our eye on the economy, here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow up 72, NASDAQ down at 4, S&P also up at 5. Coming up on NEWS2, more Carnival news in our Carnival Corner. Info you need to know and information you'll appreciate. Many of us looking forward to the fabulous fireworks display. Learn more about those responsible for the behind the scenes. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, after a brief scare back in March, the Carnival fireworks display is definitely back on this Saturday. We look at a small group of business owners who refuse to let Carnival revelers have a dark Carnival finale. NEWS2's April Knight has more.
When local businessman Mike Carty heard that Carnival fireworks was getting canceled because of lack of funding, he was not about to let that happen.
Somebody that grew up watching Carnival and watching the fireworks, I saw it as something detrimental to not have the fireworks, and was kind of appalled that it was such an easy decision to make to exclude them from the carnival.
Carty ponied up $10,000 for the fireworks and challenged other businessmen to do the same.
It's not just to me. You had a lot of traditional businesses like WSTA, a lot of other younger businesses like the 107.9 The Vibe, A9, Cardao. Everybody came together to actually make it happen.
The rest was up to this guy.
You've got to have fireworks. It's a signal. No matter how long, no matter how big, we've got our fireworks.
Steve Bourne and the Grucci Company have produced the fireworks show for decades. He's happy that the show is back on, but because of the money problems, he only had 2 weeks, not 4 months, to get everything together, with a budget that's cut in half.
I left the permits in place. I didn't yank the permits. Thank God. That show was designed for 3 different budget levels because I was not sure how much money we were going to raise.
Up to 1,000 pounds of shells will be loaded on 2 of these trailers, which will then go on a barge on Saturday, shooting up an explosion of colors for families to enjoy. And all of it thanks to local businessmen who wanted to give everyone a bright carnival finale.
And we look forward to those fireworks. Now, the preteen tram began earlier this evening from 6 p.m. from the Rothschild Francis Market Square to the Children's Village and the Senior Citizens Quailway tram. Now, on Wednesday, it's the cultural fair, Alvin's Cultural Workshop, honoring Alvin Turnbull, 8 a.m. at Emancipation Garden. Thursday, it's Rosa time, Juve warm-up at 12:30 a.m. at the Village. Then at 4 a.m., everyone hit the pavement for Juve. Here's the lineup: Cool Session, Volume, Stylee, Jammers HP, and Poison. On Friday, the Children's Parade at 10 a.m., then the Adults Parade on Saturday. At 9 p.m. Saturday evening, it's the fireworks over Shalimali Harbor that we just spoke about, then Calypso Spectacular for Last Lap at the Village at 10 p.m. Meanwhile, here is who we can enjoy at the Village the next couple of nights. Tonight, it's Flamba Combo, Mars Van David Band, Joe Veras from Santo Domingo, and Carry Me from Haiti. On Wednesday, a steel band, TMG from St. Croix, Imagination Brass, Fusion, and Small Axe Band. Thursday, DJ Pete, Poison, Triple K, Crossfire. Friday, DJ Country, Cool Sessions Brass, Pressure, Beanie Man, Conscience. And then Saturday, it's Rudy Live, Caribbean Music Farm, Calypso Show, and Sherwin Winchester closes it out. Be sure to tune in to CBS TV2 for the best live coverage of the parades in the territory, 10 a.m. on Friday and then on Saturday morning. And in addition, you can watch the parades online. The link to the website will be posted on our NEWS2 Facebook page and at cbstv2vi.com. Be sure to tune in to NEWS2 at 7 p.m. on Thursday for our St. Thomas Carnival special as we look back at some of this year's events leading up to the grand finale. Cardo Jewelers is celebrating Carnival. They launched the Carnival watches, in which many of the Carnival winners will receive. Also, Friday and Saturday during the Children and Adults Parade, they have opened up the alleyway next to the store. They are partnering with the 340 Boxers and much more.
Opening it up to local entrepreneurs, artists, so that they could exhibit during the biggest week of St. Thomas. We have Passport Apparel from St. Croix. We have Far Right from St. Thomas. These are also apparel companies. We have Gregory Samuel, local artist, Virgin Islands Skincare line. And we do have the Carnival, the Parade, the Calypso watch that we come out just for Carnival. And I think it's a great way if you're visiting family, you're coming here just for this occasion to remember your time on St. Thomas.
I worked with the Boxers in designing the watch and actually worked with 340 Boxing. The proceeds go to the 340 Boxing Association and allow them to provide an after-school program for the children that they mentor every single day after school. You know.
Good job there. The Seventh-day Adventist community took time out this weekend to honor educators. They also hosted a fun day for the public that began with a parade through Christiansted and included health screenings, horseback riding, picture taking, and a number of sports.
We honored teachers across the island. We had about 50 or 60 teachers whom we honored. Today it's a fun day. It's going to be a day of fun. It's a part of the experience of the Seventh-day Adventist School to highlight education and to make all know how important it is to have education.
Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.